Hey, what's up, Spartans? I'm Aisha Tyler, and welcome to the beta. This is so awesome. We are about to throw down on Bungie's newest battlefield, and here is what you need to know to survive. So pay attention, because after I smoke your ass, I don't want to hear any crying through my headset, all right? It hurts the ears, the weeping. This is Powerhouse, a hydroelectric plant primed for carnage. Control the interiors, watch the rooftops, and get your hands on that sweet, sweet rocket launcher. Next stop, Sword Base, a maze of hallways and catwalks. Keep your head on a swivel because your enemies will be above and below you. Now, both are great for Slayer, but they're also set up for Stockpile and Headhunter. Stockpile, this is capture the flag on steroids. Snag flags and bring them home, but keep your eyes on the prize because the flags don't count until the timer hits 0. Now, Headhunter is all about prying your enemies' flaming skulls from their cold, dead hands. That's gotta hurt.
Destination move.
But the more you rack up, the more of a target you become, because if you're killed before you collect, you lose everything. So keep that bag of skulls close to your heart.
Skull taken.
You want to go big? Overlook features generator defense. Spartans versus elites. Elites destroy the generators. Spartans get up close and activate the blast shield. And if you get taken down, launch your counterattack from a new location. The final map in the beta is Boneyard, and it is custom built for invasion. Elites shut down the generators, deactivate the security, and deliver the navigation core to your Phantom. Now, Spartans, your job is simple. You stop the elites, because that's what you do. And get this, the weapons and vehicles get more and more deadly as the game goes on. Awesome. All right, let's take a look at the gear. First off, check out your controls, okay? They're a little different this time. I don't want to hear you crying about how you didn't understand which button made you jump. Next stop, the armory. Choose an emblem, a service tag, and a paint job. Not all of the armor is available in the beta, but trust me, there is plenty of cool stuff to check out. And the more you play, the more you get. One thing that is available from the very start are armor abilities. These are killer. First of all, sprint. You feel the need, Spartan? Get a quick burst of speed. Evade. You know that kind of sneaky bob and weave that elites pull in campaign? Well, they can do it in multiplayer too. Oh, damn you! Active camo. Get cloaked. The slower you move, the longer you stay undetected, so sneak it up.
Revenge.
Armor lock. When all hope is lost, you get one brief, shining moment of invincibility. And jetpack. Fly like a bird and rain death down on your opponents, but just make sure you feather your landing. Don't come in too hot, you might stub a toe. Choose your abilities, reuse them as often as you like, but pay attention to your power meter because armor abilities need to recharge. If you can't decide, you can switch them up every single time you respawn. All right, now that you're up to speed, it's time to get serious. Let's talk weapons. The Designated Marksman Rifle, or DMR. Medium to long range, zoom, aim, fire, headshot, thud. The Magnum. It's not the size that matters, soldier. It's how you use it. So slow and steady. Let the bodies hit the floor. The Needle Rifle. Mid to long range, great for headshots, makes unshielded opponents explode. That's fun. Plasma Launcher is anti-everything. Hold the trigger to charge up to 4 sticky rounds and let them fly when you have a lock. The Grenade Launcher. Squeeze the trigger to fire an explosive round or hold it to detonate on your own timetable. And you guys need this because some of you throw like a girl. The shields still recharge, but health packs are back, so find them to heal all wounds and keep one eye on your motion tracker because it's been upgraded. When it comes to matchmaking, you've got a lot of new options here. You can team up with players based on language, connection, or playstyle. You want to talk a little trash, you want to find team players, or keep it civilized, you can set it up. An active roster lets you link up with your friends. If they're already in a match, Q-Join will drop you in when their game is over, so you don't have to wait around with your finger up your like you normally do. Once you're in a squad, it's time to pick your playlist. All throughout the beta, Bungie will be rolling out new hoppers on the fly. Before each game begins, make sure you cast your vote to get the game type you want, all right? No more veto power. And from here on out, everything you do earns credits. And more credits mean more gear, more bragging rights in your face. And there's no need to be frugal because credits don't carry over when the beta ends. So spend that money, playa. But what good is getting all dolled up if you can't check yourself out? When you're done playing, upload your best saved films to your file share so everyone can feast their eyes on your greatness. Oh, feasting, and we're feasting. You know the drill. Stats, content, and late-breaking information can be found on Bungie.net. So what are you waiting for? It's time to gear up and load out. But please remember, this is a live fire exercise, soldiers, a real beta. You're not just playing the game, you're helping Bungie fine-tune the Halo experience. So we thank you for your help and your field reports if you spell check them first. See you in the beta. And hey, if you see someone out there kicking your ass, that's not me. If you feel them first, that's me. My gamer tag is, hey, I just busted you in the ass. I hope it hurt.
Ta-da!
I'm Jason Sussman. I'm the architect on Breakpoint. It's one of the maps you'll be playing in the Noble Map Pack.
And my name is Raymond Broskovac. I was one of the 2 finishing artists on the space. I was responsible for terrain, snow, rock, that wonderful stuff.
I'm Matt Beignet. I'm also a finishing artist on this level. I worked on a lot of the structures and buildings that you find throughout the space, such as the lab and the hub. And for the most part, I just pretended to contribute to the team.
I'm Derek. I'm a designer. This is Breakpoint. It's really big. It's really snowy.
Avalanche 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Oh yeah, this is Jason. Did Jason introduce himself? Jason Sussman, the man who invented Avalanche?
That's right. That's right, suckers.
Well, if you liked Avalanche, you'll love Breakpoint. Because it's unlike it in just about every way.
It's in the snow. And
it is snowy, though.
It's Avalanche sans man cannons.
I'm going to go on record and say that Mike Bielterman made Avalanche, finally, after all these years.
All right, so Breakpoint is definitely the largest map in the Noble Map Pack. It's designed primarily for the invasion game type, but will also be used in big team battle.
One of the challenges on these maps, just having them be as large as they are, is that you get a lot of viewpoints where you're looking back across a map, and so we're constantly having to balance memory and budgets to give it the same level of fidelity that you get on a smaller map.
And I think especially like when you have architectural elements like buildings on a large map, it becomes even more of a problem because terrain only has to be so detailed. Like when you see like a human scale building, you expect there to be a certain level of detail.
In other words, I got the easy job.
No.
Oh.
Basically, the weight of the visual look of the entire level kind of rests on Ray's shoulders as far as the terrain goes.
Absolutely, the train is definitely the hero of this map.
Yeah, and from a high-level design goal was to make this an invasion map that is big enough for invasion, but that we use more of the space. So there's some cool circuits through it for vehicle combat.
Yeah, we definitely want to make it where you could still drive around and have fun and actually have enough space that you don't feel like you're getting cramped or you're running into anything that's going to slow you down.
There are plenty of vehicles. The elites get ghosts and wraiths with the Banshee in the 3rd phase, while the Spartans get the Falcon, as well as a Rocket Hog and a standard Warthog. The Rocket Hog makes its triumphant matchmaking debut in Invasion. It's been in Forge World, but it's just too much fun.
Actually, out of all the large-scale big team style maps, I think this one's my favorite for aerial combat between like the Banshee and the Falcon.
Definitely.
All right, so in Breakpoint, the elites are trying to basically get at the UNSC science installation. Spartans don't want that to happen, of course.
I think it's also the first time we've seen like UNSC really tapping into the Forerunner stuff as far as fiction and stuff like that. You've never really seen any kind of like UNSC this close to the Forerunner, except for like the Oni buildings and whatnot. Also fictionally, this is all tied into the Oni base. This is basically like it's basically a Site B to that. This is where they siphoned the beautiful science out of the Forerunner structure.
Yeah, that's one thing I really like about this project is how he made science into a noun.
Exactly.
He's now
Science.
stealing science.
It always was a noun. It's a concrete noun now.
Yes.
It's something you can carry. Well, everyone loves science, but this is science in suitcase form.
That's right.
Yes, we've packaged science.
Yep. It shows that the humans had
And they're hiding
contact with the Forerunner stuff much more than we thought.
They're hiding the Forerunner really well as it hangs out over the side of the mountain.
Well, that was revealed by the
entire rest
glassing beams. Silly.
That's right.
Glassing beams.
How did this Forerunner structure get trapped in the mountain? I think we decided that they accidentally teleported into the world.
Hey,
and they were
Forerunner
like,
stuff's
"Oh."
mysterious.
That's how they travel. They're just like constantly teleporting around. They just like sometimes end up inside of a planet.
That is just speculation.
This is not canon. This is speculation.
That's canon. In fact, nothing in this playthrough is canon.
Out. They're like ratting.
Oh, this is on Reach?
It's on Reach. Come on.
It's the part the Covenant didn't find.
Well, they just found it.
They're here now.
They're here now.
They just found it in the DLC pack.
Jerks.
From Matt, Ray, Jason, and myself, that was Breakpoint. Noble Map Pack drops November 30th on Xbox Live. Go get it. Thanks.
Hope you guys enjoy it.
Ta-da!
This map pack in some ways is one of our first full direct Halo game projects.
We started thinking about what do we want to do for map packs, when do we want to do them.
We definitely wanted to pay full service to the universe created in Reach.
One big consideration when we were working was how do we fit this to the fiction?
All these maps are unique from the story standpoint of being places that are snapshots around the Reach universe as Reach is falling.
You're constantly confronted with the fact that there's this beautiful place, but it's not going to be there forever.
Coming up with the sort of spectrum for a map pack is a really straightforward business and at a very high level. You just say, what do we already have and what do we need to kind of flesh things out?
Everyone on the right side is working on super top secret stuff I can't talk about. And then everyone over here is also working on super secret stuff that goes. Certain Affinity, we're an independent developer. It's kind of spread out where we have our down here in Austin, Texas. In little pods. We're about 50 people now.
That team has a lot of experience with the engine, a lot of experience with Halo. Incredible Halo fans, obviously, because so many of them have been involved in the games before.
On Halo 1, I ended up doing the user interface. Halo 2, I shifted to development. On Halo 3, I was multiplayer online lead.
So right from the get-go, we worked really closely with the publishing team at 343 to identify maps that would make sense in the context of Reach.
The overgrown stuff that we're talking about.
It was great because CA was crazy passionate. Like, these guys just showed up with a huge list. And it was more a question of just, okay, well, we can only make so many of these, so, let's get to ones that we think kind of fit the fiction, fit the flow.
There was a lot of exploration and a lot of collaboration between the two groups.
One idea that came to mind was, wouldn't it be awesome to have a multiplayer map that you can see the planet getting glassed below you?
Condemned takes place high above Reach on a space station, somewhat decimated by Covenant attack.
So when we started Condemned, we wanted to make a map that was really fun for close range, but still had some long range sniping stuff in it.
We're looking at Lockout specifically. What are some of the characteristics about Lockout that we think are so fun, and how can we take some of those and do them in a completely new map? Something that really pulls infantry together in a really tight environment.
It is a circular map. How do we prevent people from just getting in this habit of going in a circle and never meeting each other?
The low grav center, which we experimented with a couple different ideas on. Sort of this one spot where no matter where you are on the map, you can always get to the action quickly, or you can always get across the map quickly.
It does change your gameplay style and things you need to do. And you're kind of a sitting duck when you're sitting out there in low gravity, floating around.
I remember at one point there was a giant energy beam that would come down, and if you were standing on that center platform at the wrong time, you would get blasted to smithereens.
It was just encouraging people not to go into the center of the map, which is the exact opposite of what we wanted to do, so we just removed it.
The earlier stages of the art pass were dark and much more creepy. If it's dark and industrial, it's really easy to get lost. So over the course of development, we decided to brighten this space more.
And make it still retain a lot of the character we originally wanted, but to make it work.
On a really tight map like Condemned, it's critical that the player is able to orient themselves.
It actually came down to a lot of art coming in and helping us out and doing color-coded rooms.
In the comm room, there's actually a big hologram establishing where it's been damaged and that it had been abandoned.
Thinking about it like a facility that you would be in, you know, what kind of signage would be around that would help you navigate an airport or a hospital or a military base.
One of the effects which we iterated on the most was the shield door effect. We couldn't make it look like a shield from any other shield effect that you have in Halo because that would communicate a certain functionality. We had to design a new one, and we went through probably 4 or 5 different iterations. Some were way too strong and way too distorted because people want to be able to stand and shoot through the reactor core, and so we couldn't do anything that would really obstruct the view.
I think it's going to be really fun when people play it the first time and they think they can go their old camping routine to the shield door and they just get a sticky grenade right in their face and they're going to drop it.
At the end, I feel like we have a map which has a lot of mood in each of the spaces and really feels unique, not just in and of itself, but to the rest of all the maps that are within the Halo franchise.
We're looking at the story and the fiction, and we really want all of our maps to be set in very distinct locales.
Islands is a military training preserve where certainly Spartans did some training.
You have the guard tower in the middle, judging the war games.
The Pelican crash landed that had a bunch of Spartan 2s on it. The Covenant coming in and glassing the entire planet.
The lighting for Highlands was really based around the idea of a forest fire. The closest thing we could come up with to glassing, nearby glassing.
In some of the original concepts that we did, we were really going for more of an abandoned training facility. We had vines growing up, the buildings, and lots of overgrown foliage.
Originally the waterfall, which comes down through the middle of the map, flowed over and actually kind of hid the gully where the ghost is in there.
While it's very interesting to do that kind of work, it doesn't really line up with the Halo aesthetic.
Sometimes it's really good to just go back to a really simple shape and just get players meeting as fast as possible.
From the ground up, we wanted to make a giant expanse with bases in it and vehicles in it.
What's the flow of the vehicles going to be? How are they going to move across the map? And then how, on top of that, are the infantry going to move?
We made it big because we wanted it to be very vehicle focused.
One of the reasons I think it works well as objective is you have so many different options to how to get from point A to point B.
It's a weird hybrid of Blood Gulch style map kind of as a foundation, but mixed with these much more complex infantry spaces and these tighter spaces and all this verticality.
But also having a variety of different locations that you can kind of hide and sneak and kind of make your way through the map and hopefully find the other person before they see you in the sights.
Definitely speaks to the Halo of yore. The new expanded firefight support meant that we definitely wanted to put in another firefight map.
Unearthed is a really dusty, dry, arid environment.
Reach is an industrial world, and its main purpose is a kind of military-industrial outpost at the far reaches of human space.
It's quiet. You can see the tire tracks on the ground where there's been human activity, but it's gone. It's a ghost town. It's a ghost world.
So you're seeing this huge open-cast mining facility with these kind of step plateaus where the minerals are being extracted from the ground.
The complex itself is built right next to a meteor impact, so it made unearthing the titanium really easy.
Set, start.
Creating a firefight map is a very different experience. We have to account for all these different types of AI of all different sizes, of all different movement types.
Phantoms come in and supply the enemies to the outer perimeter.
Hunters are almost 2 times the size of a player. When you go to put a door in, can this giant hunter fit through it? We really wanted to make a map that would allow people to jetpack from multiple levels. We wanted people to be able to armor lock in hallways and block the AI and get them to have to move and do different things.
We cater to a wide variety of playstyles. If you want to do close quarters combat, there's opportunity for that in there. If you want to just get in a vehicle and run havoc and run over, 40, 50, 60 grunts, then you can.
They want more vehicle combat in firefight because that just adds a different dynamic than just being a Spartan on foot.
There's an inherent oval racetrack, and we have warthogs. So you put 2 and 2 together, you can run laps through the map. So there's literally through the main structure, and then under the bridge, and then back around. You can load up with your buddies, get a rocket launcher, rod and shotgun, and then run laps and just rack them up.
Just mauling through tons of Covenant. It adds this kind of exclamation point on the excitement and fun that is firefighting.
I hope that when players first play Unearthed, that they take a look around and just feel inspired and in awe of the grand scale of things, because it's a huge map.
Unearthed is the calm before the storm. Highlands is the storm itself, you know, with all the Covenant ships and the glassing that's happening right there on your doorstep. And then with Condemned at the very end, watching it all kind of go up in flames.
This is really something being created by 343 and CA, and just being created by a bunch of diehard Halo fans.
This is our core business. This is all we're doing from now on is Halo games and Halo support and Halo maps. We have resources, we have people, and we're going to throw those people and those resources and that talent and that effort to the Halo franchise, and it's a huge responsibility. People should understand that we understand that and we respect that, and we're going to do everything that we can.
The community is huge for us in helping us shape what it is that we do next. The more vocal the community is, the more they tell us what they like, the more we can make sure that we try to give them that experience.